and welcome to day 5 of our January challenge 2023, and we're going to finish off our chorus today. So I'm going to start by playing yesterday going into today, and then we'll focus in on what we're learning for today. So this is how the chorus started yesterday. Okay, so let's learn what we're up to today. So we're going to go da 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 dee da 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 da. Okay, so we've got a C on its own. This was sitting at the end of yesterday's learning, the final bar there, and we left it out because this is leading us into today. So personally, I'm quite happy to do that with a thumb. You can either slide from that thumb to the B, so I've got my third finger ready on the D. Or you can have the D, I still have the D ready if you can, and maybe just play the C and then jump onto the B with your thumb. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Another way you could do it if you really wanted to is you could have a finger 2 on the C with your thumb ready on the B crossed over. So you play the C and then you can open out like that. Okay, you want to think about what you've just played. How are you going to get comfortably from there into that new bit? Okay, and then we've got this gap which is a sixth apart. It's a lovely rich harmony. So we've got the D and the B, 1 and 3 because it's that larger gap. We just move up 1, back down, down again, and then I'm just going to take my thumb down to the G, and I'm going to have my third finger is either going to be on the C ready, although it's quite nice to leave it ringing out from before, so I might do the G on its own, and then I might go 3, 2 on the double C. Okay, again, it's a repeated note. It's nice if you can to change finger on it. Okay, so should we just try that a little bit together from the quaver C going into it? So I'll give you a count of 3 and 4 and we'll start. Okay, going into bar 25. 3 and 4 and 2. So that time I did place the C and it did stop it ringing out, so you might want to let that ring out. Underneath that, lovely straightforward left hand, we've got an octave and a fifth, so G, D, G down in the bass. And that just plays one after the other. So think about how you open up to it. And then in bar 26, the next bar, I've got C to G to E. However, I'll just show you with this hand. I don't want to place all of those at the same time because the C to the G is on its way up and then going to the E is on its way back down. If you place all 3 at once, you then have to remind your brain which one goes first. It's this one and then it's this one and then it's this one. You've got to keep telling your brain that. And we try and have to get involved in telling our brain things as little as possible by having the rules and the patterns that we follow. So knowing that we only place in one direction at a time, our brain doesn't have to do anything more than compute that. Okay, so it's with your left hand, 3, 1, 2. Okay, as we're there's only one more chord in the left hand to do. Still staying in that same area, we're going to open up slightly, so the C is at the base and we've got F and A. So I'm bearing that in mind, rather than thinking of going on C, F, A, I'm going to open my hand up and I'm kind of focusing with my eye, where does my thumb want to land, and knowing what those size gaps feel like. I'm doing that 1, 2, 3 because I'm quite comfortable with that. If that feels too big a stretch between 2 and 3, you could do 1, 2, 4. Just be mindful then about where your third finger sits. So let it just drop down into the gap, not sort of be trying to hold itself out of the way. Personally, 1, 2, 3 is the preferred choice there, if you can reach it comfortably. Okay, so let's put that with the right hand. I know we haven't done the last bar of the right hand yet, but just putting that with that. So we've got da, 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 dee, da. Okay, here's our same count. Left hand's on G, D, G. Right hand's got the C falling onto the D and the B. 3 and 4. Okay, well done. Carrying on then, the right hand has a G on its own. You may well do this with a 1 because you've just done it with a 1 prior at the beginning of the bar before, beginning of that bar. And then we're going on to C and G, which I'm doing with 1 and 3 because it's that size of a gap. It's the outer 2 notes of a triad. If I was to put my finger 2 on in the middle, you'd see it's that triad shape. So 1 and 3. I'm doing the F with a 2 on its own. Then I'm placing F and E, 1 and 2. And then I'm swapping, because it's this repeated note, I'm going to swap to finger 3 for a slightly more beautiful final note. Then going down to a C on its own. And you haven't got the next bar yet, but I can tell you it's going to be a C in both hands, because I know you'll want to feel that finished sound. So we're aiming for another C. Okay, so if we just do that last bar with the upbeat G going into it, and our left hand is coming in on that CFA chord. Okay, so we're going to play G, da, dum. Okay, we're going to play that, but with the left hand involved as well. So your count now will be 2 and 3 and then we start. Okay, 2 and 3 and then a C in both hands. Very good. So if we put all of that together, and then you can work on it, and then you can join me for the play along. So just starting on today from that C quaver, leading us in to bar 25. Left hand's opening up to G, D, G, and we do want to open up. Okay, ready, 3 and 4. Well done. And I think that's definitely a place where you might want to just slow it down a bit and just really wallow in the sentiment of it for a moment. Okay, well done. Join me on the play along. We'll do it at a couple of different speeds. We've just got a couple of days left then on this piece, and they are mostly things that will be quite familiar to you as well. So I'll see you in a bit. Well done.